I don't know why it keeps kicking me off today, but hopefully it will let me finish up. I'm starting First Samuel 20 to read First Samuel 20, or I'm reading First Samuel uh 10 through 22, and I'm on 20, so I'm getting ready to start that. Um well, I'm on First Samuel 19 is where it cut off. First Samuel 19:6, I believe. So that's what I'm going to pick back up. I'm going to pick back up in First Samuel 19 verse 6. So Saul heeded the voice of Jonathan and swore, "As the Lord lives, he shall not be killed." Then Jonathan called David, and Jonathan told him all these things. So Jonathan brought David to Saul. He was in the presence as in past times, and there was war again, and David went out and fought the Philistines and struck them with a mighty blow and fled from him. Now the distressing spirit from the Lord came upon Saul as he sat in the house with a spear in his hand, and David was playing music with his hand. Then Saul sought to pin David to the wall with the spear, but he slipped away from Saul's presence, and he drove the spear into the wall. So David fled and escaped that night. Saul also sent messengers to David's house to watch him and to kill him in the morning. And Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, "If you do not save your life tonight, tomorrow you will be killed." So Michal let David down through the window, and he went and fled and escaped. And Michal took an image and laid it in the bed and covered it with goat's hair for his head and covered it with clothes. So when Saul sent messengers to take David, she said, "He is sick." So Saul sent the messengers back to see David, saying, "Bring him up to me in the bed, that I may kill him." And the messengers had come in. There was the image in the bed, with covered with goat's hair for his head. Then Saul said to Michal, "Why have you deceived me like this and sent my enemy away so that could escape?" And Michal answered Saul. He said to me, "Let me go. Why should I kill you?" So David fled and escaped and went to Samuel at Ramah and told him all that Saul had done to him. And Samuel went and stayed in Naioth. And all that Samuel's all now it was told Saul, saying, "Take note, David is at Netoeth and Ramah." So then Saul sent messengers to take David, and David to take David. And when they saw the group of prophets prophesying and Samuel standing as a leader over them, the Spirit of God came upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. And when Saul was told, he sent other messengers, and they prophesied likewise. Then Saul sent messengers again the third time, and they prophesied also. Then he also went to Ramah and came to a great well that was in Situ. And so he asked and said, "Where are Samuel and David?" And someone said, "Indeed, they are in Naioth and Ramah." So they went there, Naioth and Ramah, and the Spirit of God was upon him also. And he went on and prophesied until he came to Naioth Ramah. And he also stripped off his clothes and prophesied before Samuel in like manner, and lay down naked all that day and night. Therefore they say, "Is Saul also among the prophets?" Then David fled from Naioth to Ramah. And they went and said to Jonathan, "What have I done? What is my iniquity? And what is my sin before your father that he seeks my life?" So Jonathan said to him, "By no means you shall not die. Indeed, my father will do nothing, either great or small, without first telling me. Why should my father hide this thing from me? It is not so." Then David took an oath again and said, "Your father certainly knows that I have found favor in your eyes." And he said, "Do not let Jonathan know this, lest he be grieved. But truly, as the Lord lives and as your soul lives, there is but a step between me and death." So Jonathan said to David, "Whatever you yourself desire, I will do for you." And David said to Jonathan, "Indeed, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king to eat. But let me go, that I may hide in the field until the third day in the evening. If your father misses me at all, then say, 'David earnestly asked permission for me that he may run over to Bethlehem, his city, for there is a yearly sacrifice for all the family.' If he says thus, 'It is well, your servant will be safe.' But if he is very angry, be sure that evil is determined by him. Therefore you shall deal kindly with your servant, for you have brought your servant into the covenant of the Lord with you. Nevertheless, if there is iniquity in me, kill me yourself. Why should you bring me your father?" But Jonathan said, "Far be it from you. For if I knew certainly that evil was determined by my father to come upon you, then would I not tell you?" Then David said to Jonathan, who will tell me, or what if your father answers you roughly? And Jonathan said to David, come, let us go into the field. So both of them went into the field. And so Jonathan said to David, the Lord God of Israel is witness. When I have sounded out my father sometime tomorrow or the third day, and indeed there is good toward David, and I do not send you and tell you, may the Lord do so, and much more to Jonathan. But if it pleases my father to do evil, then I will report it to you and send you away, that you may go in safety. And the Lord be with you, as he has been with my father. And you shall only show me this kindness of the Lord while I live, and that I may not die. But you shall not cut off your kindness from my house forever. No, not when the Lord has cut off every one from of the enemies of David from the face of the earth. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord require it all. Let the Lord require it at the hand of David's enemies. Now Jonathan again caused David to vow, because he loved him, for he loved him as he loved his own soul. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon, and you will be missed, because your seat will be empty. And when you have stayed 3 days, go down quickly and come up to the place where you hid on the day of the deed, and remain by the stone of Ezel. I will shoot 3 arrows to the side, as though I shot at a target. And there I will send a lad, saying, go and find the arrows. If I expressly say to the lad, look, the arrows are on this side of you, get them and come. Then the Lord lives. Then as the Lord lives, there is safety for you and no harm. But if I say thus to the young man, look, the arrows are beyond you, go your way, for the Lord has sent you. And as for the matter which you and I have spoken of, indeed, the Lord is between you and me forever. Then David hid in the field, and then when the new moon had come, and the king sat down to eat the feast. Now the king sat on his seat, and as other times, on a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side. But David's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul did not say anything that night, for he thought, something has happened to him. He is unclean, surely he is unclean. And when it happened the next day, the second day of the month, that David's place is empty, and Saul said to Jonathan his son, why has the son of Jesse not come to eat, either yesterday or today? So Jonathan answered Saul, David earnestly asked permission of me to go to Bethlehem. And he said, please let me go, for our family has a sacrifice in the city, and my brother has commanded me to be there. And now, if I have found favor in your eyes, please let me get away and see my brothers. Therefore, he has not come to the king's table. Then Saul's anger was aroused against Jonathan, and he said to him, you son of a perverse, rebellious woman, do I not know that you have chosen the son of Jesse to be to your own shame and to the shame of your mother's nakedness? For as long as the son of Jesse lives on this earth, you shall not be established, nor your kingdom. Now, therefore, send and bring him to me, for he shall surely die. And Jonathan answered Saul his father and said to him, why should he be killed? What has he done? Then Saul cast a spear at him to kill him, by which Jonathan knew that it was determined by his father to kill David. So Jonathan arose from the table in fierce anger and ate no food the second day of the month, for he was grieved for David, because his father had treated him shamefully. And it was in the morning that Jonathan went out into the field in the time appointed with David, and the little lad was with him. So he said to the lad, now run, find the arrows at which I shoot. And as the lad ran, he shot an arrow between him. And when the lad had come to the place where the arrow was which Jonathan had shot, Jonathan cried out after the lad and said, is not the arrow behind you? And Jonathan cried out to the lad, make haste, hurry, do not delay. So Jonathan's lad gathered up the arrows and came back to his master. But the lad did not know anything. Only Jonathan and David knew of the matter. Then Jonathan gave his weapons to his lad and said, go carry them to the city. As soon as the lad had gone, David arose from a place toward the south and fell on his face on the ground and bowed there 3 times. And they kissed one another, and they wept together, and David more so. Then Jonathan said to David, go in peace, since we have both sworn in the name of the Lord, saying, may the Lord be between you and me, and between your descendants and my descendants forever. So he arose and departed, and Jonathan went into the city. And then David came to Nob, Amalek the priest. And Amalek was afraid when he met David and said to him, why are you alone? Is no one with you? So David said to Amalek the priest, the king has ordered me on some business and said, do not let anyone know anything about the business on which I send you, or what I have commanded you. I have directed my young men to such as a place. Now, therefore, what have you on hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread in my hand, or whatever you can be found. And the priest answered, and David said, There is no common bread on hand. There is only holy bread. If the young men have at least kept themselves from women. Then David answered the priests and said to them, Truly, women have been kept from us about 3 days since I came out. And the vessels of the young men are holy, and the bread is in effect common, even though it was consecrated in the vessel this day. So the priest gave him holy bread, for there is no bread there but the showbread which he had taken from before the Lord, in order to put hot bread in its place on the day which it was taken. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord. And his name was Doeg. He was an Edomite, the chief of the herdsmen who belonged to Saul. And Saul said to Amalek, Is there not here a hand or a spear or a sword? For I have brought neither my sword nor weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. So the priest said, The sword of Goliath, the Philistine, whom you killed in the valley of Elah, there it is, wrapped in cloth behind the ephod. If you will take that, take it, for there is no other except that one here. And David said, There is none like it. Give it to me. Then David arose and fled from the day before Saul, and went to Achish, the king of Gath. And the servants of Achish said to him, Isn't this not David, the king of the land? Did they not sing of him one another in dances, and saying, Saul has slain his thousands, David 10,000s? Now David took these words to heart, and very much afraid of Achish, and was very much afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. So he changed his behavior before them, pretended madness in their hands, scratched on the doors of the gate, and let his saliva fall down his beard. Then Achish said to the servants, Look, see, the man is insane. Why have you brought him to me? Have I need of a madman that you have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house? David therefore departed from there and escaped to the cave of Adullam. So when his brothers and all his father's house heard it, they went down there to him, and everyone who was in distress, everyone who was in debt, everyone who had discontented gathered him. So he became captain over them, and there were about 400 men with him. Then David went from there to Mizpah of Moab, and he said to the king of Moab, Please let my father and my mother come here with you, till I know what God will do for me. So he brought them before the king of Moab, and dwelt with him all the time that David was in the stronghold. Now the prophet of Gad said to David, Do not stay in the stronghold. Depart and go to the land of Judah. So David departed and went into the forest of Harim. So when Saul heard that David and the men who were with him had been discovered, now Saul was staying in Gibeah under the tamarisk tree in Ramah, with his spear in his hand and all his servants standing about him. Then Saul said to his servants who stood about him, Hear now, you Benjamites, will the son of Jesse give every one of you fields and vineyards, and make all you captains of thousands and captains of hundreds? All of you have conspired against me, and there is not one who reveals to me that my son has made a covenant with the son of Jesse. And there is not one of you who is sorry for me, or reveals to me that my son has stirred up my servant against me to lie in wait, as it is this day. Then answered Doeg the Edomite, who was set over the servants of Saul, and said, I saw the son of Jesse going to Nob, to Amalek, the son of Ahudub, and he inquired of the Lord for him, give him provisions, and gave him the sword of Goliath the Philistine. So the king sent to call Amalek the priest and the son of Ahud, and all their father's house, and the priests who were Nob, and they all came to the king. And Saul said, Hear now, son of Hetub. He answered, Here I am, my lord. And then Saul said to him, Why have you conspired against me, you and the son of Jesse, that you have given him the bread and the sword that inquired of God for him? And he should rise against me to lie in wait, as it is this day. So Amalek answered the king and said, Whom among all your servants is as faithful as David? Who is a king's son-in-law, who goes out your bidding and is honorable in your house? Did I then begin to inquire of God for him? Far be it from me. Let not the king impute anything to his servant, or to any of the house of my father, for your servant knew nothing of all of this, little or much. Then the king said, You shall surely die, Amalek, you and all your father's house. Then the king said to the guards who stood about him, Turn and kill the priests of the Lord, because their hand is also David, and because they knew when he fled and did not tell me. But the servants of the king would not lift their hands to strike the priests of the Lord. And the king said to Doeg, you turn and kill the priests. So Doeg, Edomite, turned and struck the priests and killed them that day, 85 men who wore linen ephod. Also, Nob and the city of the priests had struck the edge of the sword, both of the men and women, children and the nursing infants, oxen and donkeys and sheep, with the edge of the sword. Now, one of the sons of Ahimelech, the son of Ahitub, named Abiathar, escaped and fled after David. And Abiathar told David that Saul had killed the Lord's priests. So David said to Abiathar, I knew that day when Doeg the Edomite was there that that he would surely tell Saul, I have caused the death of the persons of your father's house. Stay with me, do not fear. For he who seeks my life seeks your life. But with me you shall be safe. Boom. 1 Samuel 10 through 22. A little rough today. Had to go through 3 different times. I don't know why that happened, but where it's up and running. So this is Chemist Steve. I was trying to set up the second coming of Christ. Then I realized I didn't want to be called the village idiot. Well, yeah, like I said, I got on here, got it done. I had to go on 3 different times. So if you are following along, I know people told me they are watching. Today's was broke up into 3 live streams. It kept kicking me off. So yeah, but there you go. 1 Samuel 10 through 22. Tomorrow we're going to be reading 23 through 31 for day 22. Like I said, just giving God 45 minutes to an hour of your day, going through and just really devoting time to him. You can get the whole Bible read in 90 days. And really, that's the goal, is to show people how easy it is to really get in and read the word for yourself, not rely on YouTube preachers, not rely on so-and-so, but to get in yourself and develop that relationship with the Lord yourself through prayer and the reading the word. So like I said, just on here's demonstration doing that. So God bless you. Thank you for being on, and I will see you guys tomorrow.